Miss Chancellor's 96 here with another review. This time I'm going to be talking about the newly shown Hot Toys pictures of Scarlet Witch from Age of Ultron. So yeah. So last night, every kind of weeknight, whenever I'm on the computer, I always have Hot Toys Facebook up in one of the windows, and just to kind of refresh it just every now and then to see if they post anything new. Last night, I was on my last time refreshing, about to go to bed. It was like just before midnight. I refreshed it, and wow, the pictures were out for Scarlet Witch. I was really excited for. Out of all of the Age of Ultron figures, Ultron is definitely was the one that I was most looking forward to seeing. But secondly, it would have to be Scarlet Witch. Very excited for this figure. I was very excited to see the pictures, and now they're out. So let's talk about them. So first of all, the head sculpt. This is a thing that is great and at the same time bad with this figure, in my opinion. First of all, I think the head is slightly too large. Just slightly. It's hard to tell in the pictures of her close up, but when they show like the full body pictures, you can really see what I'm talking about. This is the picture where I think it looks the worst. She looks like her head is just way too big for her body there. It's not like insane, but it's something that I immediately noticed when I saw these pictures. Obviously, the first picture I clicked on was that full picture where it shows you everything it comes with, and considering that is the one that, in my opinion, looks the worst, that I noticed it right away. It wasn't like something that you kind of say, oh, something's a little off there, and then you kind of notice the head was too big. The head just looked too big. Now, in these pictures, though, they don't look too bad. You can kind of see it, though. I mean, like, look at the body looks way too small for a head that large. And from what I can tell, the actress doesn't seem to have that type of look, and it doesn't seem to be her hair is like too just large. It's just that the face is a little too large. Now, that is my really only complaint about this figure. The face sculpt itself is wonderful, in my opinion. I think it is dead on. This is my favorite picture right here, and I think that head sculpt is absolutely incredible. I absolutely love it. I mean, it completely looks like the actress, and it looks incredibly lifelike. What I like is Hot Toys seem to when they show a figure now, they seem to be showing another picture of the head sculpt that they're working on, just another picture of it so that you can kind of see the head in more detail. They did this starting with Michael Keaton, and they also did for Luke, and now they did it for her, and that is wonderful. Like, that could totally look, it almost looks like you just cropped her head from the movie there, and put it in this picture. It looks beautiful, I have to say. They did a terrific, stunning job with the head sculpt, in my opinion. The hair looks wonderful as well. The hair is something that they could have very much stylized and put a lot of stuff in it for these pictures, and maybe when we get it firsthand, it'll be a little bit more out of control. That's certainly possible. I'm hoping that's not the case, but from these pictures, the hair does look wonderful, and looks incredibly realistic and everything. Clothing looks quite nice, the jacket looks good. I hope the jacket and the shoulders don't hinder the articulation. Considering her elbows and her knees are basically like slightly, like only half covered by the clothing, I think that they're going to have terrific articulation. Like, you can see a bit of the joint right there. So I do think that this figure is going to be very well articulated, and the boots, they're very wide, which is accurate to the movie, like the top of the boots. So I think that she is going to have a decent amount of articulation there as well. She comes with Ultron's heart. Now, I was really hoping for this accessory. I thought that there was at least I was hoping that they'd have this accessory as an exclusive. It is marked as a special bonus accessory, yet it's just a regular accessory, so we don't, it's not a Sideshow exclusive or anything, which is quite surprising considering they do label it as a special accessory. Just so that we can talk about what she comes with. First of all, she comes with a bunch of hands. Now, lately, I've been thinking that Hot Toys has really been lacking on hands, and that made me incredibly worried for her. I obviously expected some relaxed palms, and I was really hoping that the most that they do is just like the open, kind of almost clenched hands to kind of, imitate her using her power. So I was really worried that we were just going to get those, but that is not the case. They went all out. They did wonderful wonderful hands. If you see the set pictures and in the movie especially, she moves her hand like really weird. It's not just your typical, hands open kind of doing a power. They're very strange, like bent fingers. So I think that the hands that they gave us are wonderful. And what's really cool is the hands that are doing something like that are all a little bit red, which which I think is a wonderful touch. I'm hoping that the red looks really good in person, so I'm very happy with that. She comes with 2 kind of power accessories, which look really great, I have to say. They look awesome. They seem to fit in her hands really well, and I'm pretty happy about that. There's one picture, this one, where I'm a little confused because I guess that this is the accessory piece just pointed this way, but this looks smaller than this. This looks very long. I guess it's just the angle it's taken from. But overall, I'm very happy that we are getting those. And this one's just going to be a great figure because I don't know who is just going to display her standing there. She's definitely going to need to have her hands in those weird positions, and maybe just that alone will be fine. But then obviously with the power accessories, I think that will really just take it to the next level. And then the Ultron heart is wonderful, although it's not an exclusive. It is one that's for everything. As well as something that's very interesting is her base here, the standard Hot Toys Avenger base. Usually they just have the crotch holders, and this time it is like a waist grabber, which is really interesting. So I wouldn't be surprised if just about all the new figures from Avengers actually come with these waist grabber and not the crotch holders. But we'll have to see. So I don't really understand why they would just give her that. That kind of seems strange. Overall, though, figure is looking great. Head, like I said, it seems a little bit too big. Costume looks wonderful. And then the face sculpt itself is out of this world. Might be one of the best I've ever seen from Hot Toys. Possibly it's just maybe the woman face sculpt is a little easier for Hot Toys to do or something because they really hit it out of the park with Gamora. So I don't know. Maybe it's just and little pretty easy for them to do compared to a male face sculpt or something. I'm not sure because the last 2 women that they've done have been spectacular. Price point on this is a bit high. It's $230, which for probably the most expensive Hot Toys woman figure that there is, I think at least. Back when usually Black Widow figures were about 180 or so. Recently they've kind of raised the prices. Of course, Gamora was $200. This new Black Widow I believe is $220, which is pretty high. And now Scarlet Witch being $230 is very high. I don't really see anything that she comes with to justify it. She comes with 2 power accessories, a fair amount of hands, and a standard base, and then a small, Ultron heart. I really don't understand why it's $230. Even with their rise in prices, $220 would have been much better. Considering the last thing that went up on pre-order was the Iron Legion figure, and that's an Iron Man armor, which doesn't really come with much, but it's an armor nonetheless, and that was $195. So this Age of Ultron line seems very strange. Some are really well priced, like Captain America, Hulk, the Iron Legion, and then some are very high, like Ultron Prime, the Mark 45 and the Mark 43, as well as now Scarlet Witch. And then I do think that Hulkbuster is a bit too high as well, but we don't really have much to compare him to, so it's a little hard to say that his price is a little too high. But overall, I do think that price is a bit high. She comes out between December and February, which is great. Most of these new figures that they've been showing are coming out March, April, May, and I believe the Mark 45 is coming out in June or July. It's crazy how long it's going to take to get that one. So it is very nice to see a January release date on this one. So hopefully we'll get her pretty soon. Overall, she's looking wonderful though. I'm very excited. I hope that they can fix the proportion, or maybe that it's just in some angles that it's that with the proportion. Here's, another picture. I think that the head looks way too big. Now, granted, my camera is a little slanted, it's up, slanted down, so on screen it's looking a little worse than it actually is. But if you go and, you look at this on their website, I think that you'll agree. It looks too big. Like this head is just massive when you compare it to the body. So it's just something that you kind of have to see. Overall, I was quite disappointed with Vision, and Vision was one of the ones I was most looking forward to as well. So now getting Scarlet Witch, and I'm very happy with Scarlet Witch. I'm super excited. I did pre-order her right away. Typically, if a figure doesn't have an exclusive item, typically I'll wait for the $20 off coupon to work for for the item so that I can get $20 off, just save a little because they're not selling out or anything. But this one I did decide just to go and buy because I'm waiting on Vision, the Mark 1 Ultron, the Iron Legion figure, and I'm thinking about getting the Mark 45. So I got like 3 or 4 figures I'm waiting for that coupon for. So I figured, you know, why not just order this one, or else when the coupons do start working, I won't get enough of them to pre-order everything. Overall, super excited for this one and can't wait for it. A little high price, but the figure looks wonderful and it's obviously a great character. Also, something to consider. I mean, you might want to pass up on this one, knowing that we'll get one in her new costume for Civil War. She obviously has something that's a lot closer to a costume. Well, this is mostly just clothes. You know, this is mostly just a civilian kind of a garb that she's got on here, so it's not quite a costume. While the next one will be like a full-out, you know, Scarlet Witch costume. So you might want to wait for that one. I do plan to get them both. I think that having a civilian one, and I really do like her costume a lot in this movie. She has a lot of different clothes in this movie, and I really do like a lot of them, especially this one. So I am very excited to get this one. But of course, when they actually have her full suit, her full uniform, you know, I got to get that one as well. Overall, great looking figure. Love to hear you guys' opinions, and thanks so much for watching.